My name is Joel Patterson, and this is my Module 16 case study on parental apathy for EDL 856. Starting off, we have our problem identification and analysis. What do we know? We know that Miss Rose is a new assistant principal at John F. Kennedy School. We know that she understands the importance of good school and community relations and believes that her school is lacking in this area. She's approached her principal about increasing parent involvement, but has been met with little encouragement due to past failures. Her principal believes that everything is fine and that parents just don't want to be involved. Ultimately, her principal does agree to call a meeting on parent involvement after a note was sent home, but then only 8 parents show up, and they are trying to decide whether or not to have the meeting. What do we need to know? Why does the principal believe parents do not want to be involved? What efforts have been made to involve them in the past? What methods of communication have been used? Do parents trust and support the school? Why or why not? And did the meeting take place? If so, what was discussed? Were there any parents that were going to be leaders in the group to help us build on those? And then lastly, how can the 8 parents that did show up help us, at least help us get something started? So what is the problem? First and foremost, we have a lack of parent involvement. There's no PTA, no PTO, no parent groups. The principal has a negative mindset towards parent involvement. There's a disconnect between the school and the community, which means that there could be possible issues with school culture and learning environment due to a lack of school and community relationship. The plan of action. What is the plan? The plan of action is to increase parent involvement and improve the overall culture within the school. And in order to do this, we must communicate more effectively with all stakeholders in the community. We need to offer a variety of levels of involvement. There are many different types of families, and some can help out a lot, some can help out a little bit, but we need to find out how to get them all involved. We need to implement formal and informal gatherings with the public, not just a once a year meeting to gauge parent support. We need to have meet the teacher nights, back to school nights. We need to have site council meetings. We need to listen to the families. And then by listening to them, we can help implement some change based on their feedback and help cultivate a growth mindset for everyone. How will it work? By actively reaching out to our families to hear them, we can increase involvement while also improving the learning environment for students. And we can do this by reaching stakeholders through different methods of communication. Social media, face-to-face, phone calls, newsletters, site council meetings, lots of different options there. We need to offer different days and times to attend these meetings. You can't just offer a meeting on a Monday all year long. You have to offer it on lots of different days and times to be able to get all families an opportunity to come. We could also use FaceTime, live streaming, sending meeting notes home. So even if you aren't able to make the meeting, you can still get the information that was covered while there. We will use surveys, questionnaires, social media to hear from families, using polls, SurveyMonkey, email, etc. By doing all of this, parents are going to begin to know that their voice is heard. We can start building that trust back up with them. And then lastly, just don't dwell on the past failures. The principal kind of seems to think that since PTA, PTO groups didn't work in the past, that they won't ever work. But we did have 8 people show up, so we need to build from that. Resolving issues based on promoting the success of all students. All students can benefit from the increased parent involvement and improved community relations. By reaching more stakeholders through various forms of communication, we have the opportunity to involve more families. Using data collected from parent surveys, we can target specific areas of need for improvement by offering different days and times to be involved. Busy families have a better opportunity to participate. We need to communicate more regularly with these stakeholders and not just when help is needed. And then lastly, by promoting a growth mindset, we're helping empower everyone to be better. Debriefing the problem. What were you thinking, feeling, and valuing? First off, there's a clear disconnect between the school and the community, and I wondered why was that? Was it due to a lack of communication? Was it the types of communication that was going out? What opportunities to be involved have been offered previously? Was there poor leadership, poor vision, which led to a lack of trust from families? What past failures were there? And is there an unwillingness to change by that principal? My second thought was that there is hope. The assistant principal can help institute some change. She has a good grasp on school and community relations. And then there were 8 parents that did show up. So we do have a starting point. We do have some parents that do care. My last thought was that the kids deserve better. If there's an opportunity to increase parent involvement, and we know that that will help students perform better, there's no reason to not take steps forward in this process. Identifying issues that are unresolved or open for further investigation. I said the principal needs help with implementing some effective community relations strategies. Ms. Rose can help build some support, but the principal will need a larger role in the building of relationships within the community. Can't just rely on a random phone call every once in a while and those notes going home in backpacks. Needs to get out there and talking with people in the community. What are the next steps? Where do we start? I think you start with regular meetings, whether that's monthly or quarterly. Get a routine going and having parents coming on a more regular basis. Set an agenda for those meetings so you can focus your efforts and really target areas of need. And then lastly, getting staff buy-in. If we can get staff buy-in, we can relay information to them about events, and then they can pass that on down to the families in their own classrooms. Lastly, earning parents' trust and support. We need to have many different events for the community to participate in, whether it's bingo night, STEAM night, a movie night so parents can go out. Just needs to be a lot of different options out there so that you've got options for every family in your community. And then also just communicate. In this case study, it seems like there's not a lot of communication going on. So if they could increase communication by, making a positive phone call every several days, newsletters going out, updating a social media account, their school website, lots of options to get that message out there to our stakeholders. Reflecting on Standard 4, this part was on academic success. Parents, students, and staff are all working together towards common goals. And then by building a community, students can be part of a positive learning environment, which enables them to perform at their highest levels. And in establishing a PTA or PTO, we can collaborate with our stakeholders and more effectively meet the student needs, which would enable them to achieve more academic success. This part is on reflecting on Standard 4, on promoting the personal well-being of every student. And I said by establishing a PTA and PTO, we can collaborate with the stakeholders to provide exciting new opportunities for families to be a part of our school success. In building trust of parents, students can see that we're all on the same page and working to help them reach their goals. And then we are modeling effective collaboration skills and having a priority on community building. Students will see those practical examples of how to interact with people and implement positive change. Reflecting on Standard 4 for promoting communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders in the school's community. I said that through the use of many forms of communication, we can effectively reach all stakeholders to share our school. Communication needs to be regular and thorough, not just in times of need. Informational school meetings will be held on various days and times to allow busy families the opportunity to attend, and that way everyone's voice can be heard. And then taking that feedback so you can enact some positive change that the community wants. And that concludes my case study. Thank you for listening.